So I want to talk a little bit about my work and what I'm offering in the world, what I'm wanting to bring together as an offering. This revolves around three distinct but complementary pathways or modalities, however you want to look at that. The first being the way of mastery, which is a channeled pathway, a spiritual pathway of awakening that was given through JM by Jeshua. And whatever your belief system, wherever you're coming from on that, there's no requirement to believe in that. For me, the teachings really speak for themselves, and what they point towards is something both absolute and quite radical to the world mind. What I would refer to as the Christ path teachings, and they are to a large extent higher teachings of what it means to be a soul in creation, as a creator made in the image of God. And I understand that language may rattle some cages, and I really understand that. But these teachings are both, for me, deeply resonant as truth, and equally extremely challenging and utterly inconvenient to the world mind, which is a problem, which is a significant problem when we're asking a human psyche to incorporate them as a reality and as truth. And that often gets met with some considerable resistance, and in some cases that can be harmful. And I've certainly seen that along the journey. So, the question that really arose in me was how to integrate, how to incorporate these fundamental truths, these, truths that are going to be true always about who we are, into a lived experience as a human being. And the answer to that came for me through the IFS model of therapy. And this is a beautiful, profound model of uncovering the nature of psyche, uncovering the multiplicity of what we exist in mind, and how that affects and impacts our day-to-day life, our day-to-day living. There's a whole field in the way of mastery of inquiry, of breath, of movement, of healing. And the IFS really turns the light on for me in what was and has been quite a dark room of fumbling around, trying to integrate and navigate this healing journey. And it has felt at times like walking and stumbling in a darkened room, and IFS and the whole framework of psyche that it proposes that deeply aligns and matches up with my lived experience is just wonderful. And through that we can learn why there is this opposition to those truths, and that why is deeply embedded in safety, in survival, in a need to experience in certain ways to feel safe. And that makes a lot of sense. It makes a whole lot of sense. But what I see from the way of mastery is this aspiration, is this profound vision of the reality of who we truly are, that can sometimes get lost when we're working specifically or solely within a psychological framework. There's a beautiful overlap from IFS into the spiritual. It's undeniable, it's organic, it's beautiful. And then for me, the Way of Mastery offers this profound aspiration for who we are in our potentiality as soul, as Christ. And so bringing those two together for me is something that is extremely beautiful and profound and powerful. And it makes it possible in a way that is tender and compassionate and kind and truly healing. And that's really, really important to me. It's incredibly important that those things are in place, because I think without it, we're never going to be able to bring these ultimate teachings into the sphere of human psyche. It's a delicate process and it's precise, and it necessarily needs to be, and that's why I love the IFS for that. I also have the Wheel of Consent, and I'm not going to talk about that too much now. I just want to bring those two modalities together to start with, and share that they are, for me, wonderfully synchronistic and palpably healing and truthful. Now I'm offering a mentorship, a year-long mentorship, focusing on the Way of Mastery, the Christ Mind teachings, this higher ultimate truth of who we are, and through the IFS and with the Wheel of Consent, intending to assist myself and others on this journey to ground more fully and more consistently the reality of who we are as a lived experience in these bodies, in connection with the world, in relationship, in community, in communion, not just internally with ourselves, but with the whole of our experience in the world.